Before Florida Turf Pros ever existed, I wrote down on a whiteboard that I wanted to make $10,000 a month. To me, $10,000, frankly, because I was broke at the time, that just seemed like a nice round goal. And at first, it just seemed kind of unrealistic, but I sat down and I just started reverse engineering like what that would look like. And you know what happened? This light bulb went off. Like, I can do this. In this video, I'm going to outline the things that I did that allowed me to pretty dang quickly hit $10,000 a month just as a solo guy mowing lawns. So real quick, before I tell you how I got to $10,000 a month as a solo guy, we got to do a little rewind. The reason we have to do a rewind is because before I even got going, I had to sit down and map out a plan of what $10,000 actually looked like. So I sat down and I started reverse engineering what $10,000 a month would actually look like. So in my market, the average lawn is a fairly small lawn, and average price for a lawn was about $50 at that time. Now, me being a solo guy, I knew like at the top end of what I could handle comfortably with not completely maxing myself out was about 12 lawns a day. The other thing that I wanted to do was I only wanted to work 4 days a week. Look, I wasn't quitting my job so I could work 6 days a week. No, I wanted to work 4 days a week, and I wanted a 3-day weekend every single week. Now, it seemed like a tall task to make $10,000 a month by only working 4 days a week. But again, if you're doing 12 lawns a day at 50 bucks a pop, that's $2,400. Shoot, that's $9,600 a month. That's getting you pretty dang close. So basically, I just saw that I needed about 50 lawns to really make this happen. So you know what I did? I started getting lawn care customers. Okay, so I knew I needed about 50 lawns, but I did not have time to build a website, get that thing ranking, get a Google business listing, and accumulate a bunch of reviews. I just was not at that point in my lawn business. But I needed 50 lawns, and I needed them fast. So the very first thing I did is I put out a Facebook post to all of my friends and family from my personal Facebook page. I put out a blanket statement just announcing to the world like, hey, this is what I'm doing now. I want to start a lawn care business. I would love the opportunity to come take lawn care off of your plate. And just by doing that alone, that in and of itself got me about 10 lawn care customers. And you know, I'm looking at this and 10 might not seem like that much, but that was like 20% of my goal, boom, right off the bat. I just need 40 more customers. The only other thing that I knew to do at that time was to sit down at my computer and start creating door hangers, postcards, basically print marketing that I could distribute in all the neighborhoods around town that I wanted to work in. Now, this is not an in-depth video on how to do print marketing or design a postcard. If you want that information, I made a very, very detailed video about that, why I did the things I did in that postcard, how I split tested them. I'll put that video right here so you can come back and link to it later. But the truth is, putting out these postcards, it was a lot of work, and I gotta be totally honest, guys, I want you to look at this picture right here. I had all the help in the world from my family. My wife, Jamie, she literally got our kids in a wagon. I mean, they were toddlers, and we would go around town, like all these neighborhoods in my town, she would literally be pulling these kids around in a wagon, them helping her put out postcards and door hangers on all the neighborhoods, and she would do this all day on a Saturday, on her day off. Guys, if that does not deserve a like on this video, I don't know what does. Make sure you give this video a like just to tell Jamie, like, hey, that is freaking awesome. I mean, we hammered these neighborhoods over and over and over again, and we ended up getting about 20 customers from doing this. So we're sitting at about 30 lawn care customers at this point. We're about 20 lawn care customers short of our goal. So here's what I did. I went back to Facebook, and I was part of a closed Facebook group for our HOA. I put out a post on our closed Facebook group, and I told everybody, I said, hey, I am actually doing lawn care. I would love the opportunity to take care of clients right here in my own neighborhood. And I've got quite a few people that showed interest in me taking care of their lawn, and that gave me the idea to reach back out to my friends and family. And here's what I did. I told my friends and family, hey, if you are in an HOA Facebook group, will you please go to your neighborhood's Facebook page and then just put out a feeler for me. Say, hey, I know this guy, he's credible, he is starting a lawn care business. He's willing to do work for a very, very good price since he's getting this thing off the ground. Just basically put out a glowing review for me that you vouch for me and see if that will attract the final amount of customers that we need. And you know what happened? I had about 5 of my friends ended up putting out these posts into their closed Facebook groups for their HOA, and it put me right up to that 50 client mark. So in the course of about 2 months, I had hit 50 clients. I had actually hit my goal. So the second thing that happened is during the course of all this, while I was trying to accumulate customers, I was picking up work and I had to be able to take care of the yards that I was currently picking up, right? So here's what I did. I ended up financing basically a residential sit-down mower. It was a Hustler Raptor. We'll cover that just a little bit later, but I want you to know I did not drop a lot of cash on that mower. I financed it just so I could hold on to my cash. I'll do more on that at another time because this video is not a how I made $20,000 a month in my lawn care business. This was the how I made $10,000 a month getting going. So I had my 50 clients, I had my personal truck, I had my residential grade mower, I was rocking and rolling. And you know what I did? Point number 3 is I showed up every single time. If I shook your hand and told you that your yard was going to be cut on Wednesday every 2 weeks or Wednesday every single week, guess what? That was what was going to happen. When I did show up on time, like I said I would, you know what I did? I did really, really dang good work. I took extra time getting every single weed out of all the cracks. I made sure my edging lines were crisp. I mowed in certain directions. I edged up the flower beds. Those properties looked excellent whenever I left. I had a company uniform, I had a company shirt. I looked clean, I was presentable. The neighbors started taking notice of how good the other yards were looking. Halfway through my very first season, I remember looking back and thinking, I cannot believe that I'm making $10,000 a month as a solo guy, and it all started with me writing that number on the board. So you know what I did? I literally went to that same whiteboard. I erased $10,000. And halfway through that very first season, I said, I want a goal of making $20,000 a month. If you want that video, let me know. We'll discuss how I went to that level. So whether you own a little lawn care business or you are getting one going, I want this video to be an encouragement to you about the opportunities that are available to you in the lawn care industry.